Thank you so much. It's an honor to be back. We were here, it wasn't quite a year ago, but to get to come back and share with you again. This, of all the places I've been, this is actually a very unique theater. This is a very enjoyable place to share a concert. And so what I want to do, I am what people call a story singer. I love to share stories that come from not only my life, but other people's lives. You see, because no matter where we come from, no matter where we've been, we are all kind of the same. And so I want to share a snippet of my life, but I also want to make some connections and share truth with you as well. I'm just an old Dakota cowboy who is trying to make a living with my song. And I hope to sing it well enough that all the world would like to sing along. And I think you can understand me when I say this is something I must do. Let's come to an understanding. I have got something to say to you. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, no regrets. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. I spent a lot of years pretending I could do what others wanted me to do, until at night words came to haunt me saying, son, to thine own self be true. And I think you can understand there came a point when I thought I would explode. And here I am just being who I am and living on the road. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, no regrets. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. And you may not get rich, but you'll be happy. Follow your dreams, it'll be okay. Be who you are, follow your dreams, don't look back. Live every day like it could be your last, no regrets. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. Live this way and you're sure to go far. Be who you are. Be who you are. Thank you so much. I am from Valley City, North Dakota, about 60 miles west of Fargo. Born and raised in North Dakota, raised on a grain and a dairy farm. And so the life that I grew up living was probably not too dissimilar from some of yours. That when I was old enough to move, I pretty much was expected to work, and that's okay. I've been saying that I wonder if the reason my elbows and my shoulders hurt is because, you know, when you're 7 and 8 years old, if the hired men could carry 4 grain buckets to go feed the calves. I should be able to carry 4 as well and try and get that. But that's how life was. I don't regret any of that because each of those experiences became a thread in the fabric of what my life has become. When I was 7 years old, I learned to play guitar and I started writing songs. And the dream that I had at that point, the calling I felt on my life was that I was to use music to try to make a difference in people's lives. And for the last 15 years, we've been doing exactly that, full-time, on the road, using music, singing about 140 concerts a year. We've been making annual concert tours in Japan. We'd love to talk to you about that later if you want to hear some stories. We'll be going back again next October. But the stories that I'm singing today, the story songs, are all things that I've written, my own creations, my own experiences. And I found something out though, and you guys live here in Sioux City, a beautiful part of our country. I'm in North Dakota, and oftentimes when I go to southern states, I always get the same question. It says something like, Greg, doesn't it get cold in North Dakota? You've heard it, I think. And I say, it does get cold in North Dakota, and that's why we love it so much. And they look at me like I'm crazy, and I say, but no, wait, listen. Back home, we just put on more layers of clothing, and we go out and do what we have to do. We find winter fun, snowmobiling, ice fishing, stuff that you can do outside. You just go do what you have to do. And they kind of like, well, that makes sense. But I can never leave it there. I say, but down here, it gets hot and humid. And you can remove layers of clothes and it doesn't change your situation. And they start to understand, I think, what's so great about this part of the country that I love to call the Northern Land.
Nature cannot be explained by man. The same thing goes for love. Oh, they've tried, but no one can. Just take a look around you and see the way that things are here. And notice how the skyline always seems so far from here. And it's in the northern land. Oh, the sights are grand. Come take me by the hand, and we will walk together. For when you are here with me, more than the land is free. And I hope you now can see the way that life can be. Of a small brook and the swaying of the trees, the meadows with their flowers and the whispers of the breeze all paint a perfect picture on the canvas of the ground. A finer place on earth for love to grow can never more be found. It's in the northern land. Oh, the sights are grand. Come take me by the hand, and we will walk together. For when you are here with me, more than the land is free. And I hope story started long ago. I'm still telling it today. Stood tall for all those years, watched us grow and play, unselfishly continued when children moved away. It seems that now my heart is empty as I reminisce today. All the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, oh, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago. She took care of all of us, and that's why I care now. Made it to those golden years, sometimes I don't know how. I learned to give and love from her, to always do my best. I'm glad I got to thank her, and for that I feel so blessed. All the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, oh, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago. She poured into others, her legacy is sound. The lives that she's influenced around the world are found. You could say I've learned my lessons well. I hope to live a story that, like hers, they'll want to tell. 'Cause all the things she taught me, they are with me still. I'll carry on remembering, oh, I know I always will. I'd like to think I'm doing well, though my age begins to show. I will cherish all my memories of all those years ago.
That song was inspired by my mom and my grandmas and the influence that they had in my life. And I guess by extension, each of you ladies out there could take that to heart, because you're changing the world, I guarantee you, just by being you. The things that you as women teach us as men and children and society, it makes a difference. And I wouldn't be who I am if it were not for the lessons that I learned all those years ago. Andrea's going to come up on this next song, but let me set this up first. My wife Andrea is on the controls. Thank you, Andrea. And we've been blessed with 3 children, and you say, well, where are they, Greg? Well, you raise them to leave, and when they do, you rejoice. Our oldest daughter, Hannah, is married to a rancher over in Gettysburg, South Dakota, just a little bit north of Pierre. Our son, William, is 22, and he's a barber out in Dickinson, North Dakota, on the west end of the state. And our youngest daughter, Holly, was she here? No, she was not with us when we were here before. Our youngest daughter, Holly, was still in school last year, and but she graduated with a culinary arts degree, and she decorates cookies. She works at a pastry shop in Kansas City, and decorates cookies for a living. Who knew? So the kids are all gone, and if you do the math, 15 years, yeah, they all grew up on the road with us, and they would all have their job, and they could run the controls, and then when Andrea could just do a nice, smooth stage transition to come up and sing her songs, she'll be up a couple of times this afternoon. This is a song that we really like to sing, and it's a song that's kind of fun in a group like this because there's a part that you could sing along with, and it has a really neat effect. And Andrea's going to sing a part that goes, in the valley below, in the valley below, and that's what she's going to sing. In the valley below, and if you want to join, that would be great. In the valley below, and if you want, we'll just to get a tour bus. It'd be Greg Hager and the Sioux City Singers or something like that. So here's In the Valley Below. You sing with Andrea. They sound really cool in this little theater. And I understand that this is being recorded for a Facebook broadcast later on. And so for Facebook land, I own all the copyrights to the music that I'm singing, and I give permission for viewing here on Facebook and other social media outlets. So we've covered the legal stuff. All right, Andrea, let's go. Sitting high in the saddle, the whole world seems so clear. The only things that matter to me are what I see from here. She's tending the garden, I watch the children grow, and I see the cattle grazing in the valley below. Okay, your turn.
In the valley below,
that's where the greenest grass is, and that's where the shade trees are. That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below. I've been riding for years now on the same old piece of land, and I see wire and cedar borders that were placed by my hand. The prairie is changing, a natural ebb and flow, and I hope my final ride is in the valley below.
in the valley below,
That's where the greenest grass is, and that's where the shade trees are. That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below. One last time.
in the valley below,
That's where the greenest
in the
grass
valley
is,
below,
and that's where the shade
in the
trees
valley
are.
below,
That's where the water's sweet and home is never too far.
in the valley below,
That's where I run for shelter when the wind starts to blow. And I know I'll stay forever in the valley below. I'll get her back up. We bet we will. So one of the things I enjoy about an audience this size is the personal connection that you can make and kind of telling stories and letting you realize that just because I'm on this side of the platform, I'm really no different than you. You know, my hopes, my dreams, everything, we're all people. And then that way I can kind of tell on Andrea a little bit, because she's very wonderful and things, but she wore flip-flops to a concert not that long ago. I'm not a big fan of flip-flops because I have catastrophes with flip-flops on. And she was walking upstairs on a platform and missed the top by about a quarter inch. It was a very graceful entry, and I was in the middle of a song because she was going to come up, and I thought to myself, should I quit and extend a hand or what? But she bounced up pretty quick, and then the show went on. She did, yes, exactly right. And you tell on yourself and say, well, what's it really like to be on platform? We did a show, some of you, we talked earlier, have been out to Medora, North Dakota, on the western edge of North Dakota. And I was doing a concert out there a couple of years ago, and I took a big breath, and I breathed in a big fly. And I thought to myself, the show must go on. So I tucked it up in my lip over here, up in my cheek, and I finished the song, and I got rid of the fly. And you see, stuff happens on this stage. It's just all part of being real. Is you look at some performance and say, are they really real, or is that fake? Do they make vocal mistakes? And it's all real. The last couple of years have been an adjustment for anyone who makes their living on a stage. I've had to pull out one of my backup jobs, which is truck driving. I grew up on grain and dairy farm, of course, had some sales jobs, did a lot of different things, but I've always kept a commercial driver's license. And a little over a year ago, I had made a delivery of some chemical into Utah, and was running through the mountains in a snowstorm, and whole chain up mess and all of that with the semi, and was coming down, hoping to get across the pass coming into Denver. And it's snowing heavy, and I'm thinking they're going to shut down the interstate, and I'm going to sleep on the side of the road. And I finally got back into a spot at a truck stop on the west side, and I pulled up my guitar, as I often do, and say, I'm just going to play a little bit. And I thought about, in life, the things that have value always have some kind of cost associated with them. And the things that you do, the sacrifices that you make, the investments that you make in family and people and kids, and in this case, I was driving truck to keep some bills paid because the shows, were a little bit scarcer. And so I came up with this song thinking about the cost of love. I'm so far away. What else can I say? I wish I were there with you. You know it's true. And we talk on the phone, but I am still alone. Your voice helps me through what I do for you. It's hard to live like this, knowing all I miss. And in a little while, I will see your smile, and I will kiss your face and feel your warm embrace. In love is how we live, and love is always true. Doing what I can till I get home to you. Living on the road,
free and clean. It's lonely in between. And I've got miles to go. And I want you to know they don't give me thrills, but they pay the bills. I'm doing all I can. I'm proud to be your man. And in a little while I will see your smile. And I will kiss your face and feel your warm embrace. In love is how we live, and love is always true. Doing what I can till I get home to you. Love is how we live, and love is always true. Doing all I can till I get home to you. Oh, just doing all I can till I get home to you. So you move forward in life always, of course. That's a good lesson. And when Andrea and I got married, we celebrated 28 years this last June. And when we got married, we had a dream of having a family. And of course, I talked about the kids a moment ago. And something that's always been important and big in my life is faith. That I've had struggles and good and bad, but the one thing in my life that doesn't change is, of course, the truth of the gospel of Christ, and that's what I stand on a lot when things happen. And having kids, you realize you pray for things different, you move forward differently, because it's not, I just don't have to look out for Greg anymore. I have a wife, I have kids, I have a place of my own. I pray a little bit differently. I sometimes pray like this. Those cattle, and I sure love this land. And out here in your beauty, there's so much to comprehend. You clothe every blade of grass and flower that is found, and you know each time a sparrow hits the ground. You taught me how to pray in your words of bread. And once again I'm here asking for my daily bread. What would it hurt if I could get a little more? Lord, it's not for me but for her that I'm asking for. Know that I'm contented to work hard every day. And if she's wanting more than I provide, she just won't say. But she's changed that old shanty from a wreck into a home. Far away from her, I'll never roam. Taught me how to pray in your words of bread. Once again I'm here asking for my daily bread. What would it hurt get a little more. Lord, it's not for me, but for her that I'm asking for. Lord, it's not for me, but for her that I'm asking for.
Have any of you folks ever worked cattle out there? Do we have any cattlemen? Some hands out there? Some half hands? Some. Have you ever heard the phrase that, growing up, this is a lesson I learned. Greg, if you want to get the cows in quick, you better go slow. And it makes sense, because if you try to hurry along, it always seems to like herding cats. There's like you can do anything you can, but there's going to be some runner some way or another. So I had a conversation with an old cowboy some years back, and as it happens sometimes with someone who's lived a life and had adventures in their life, that they have a lot to tell you. And generally, I love to talk with people who have earned a few years because they have great life experiences. They have stories. They have stuff that they have run into that I never have and I never will. And I can't, and so I want to hear stories. But sometimes those stories, they take a tangent. And in this particular case, it was, this is a true story, a story song, but it's true. And I just want to make it clear that in this story, I'm just the messenger. I'm just telling you what happened. So you maybe that will make sense in about 2.5 minutes. I'm just the messenger.
He was sitting there alone, and so I saddled up a chair. The waitress poured my coffee. He had a distant stare, living some old memories, a life he used to know. He cleared his throat and whispered soft and low, the only way to get them fast is slow. He started telling stories of his life out on the trail. 20,000 sunsets marked the lessons learned so well. He talked about the winter and how rain makes cattle grow, about Roundup when they got the word to go. The only way to get them fast is slow. If you try to rush them, they will turn on you. You'll feel the fire in their eyes. They'll try to stomp on you. One thing that's worth noting, better get it in your head. A life's a better place than being dead. If you don't push them with you, they will go. The only way to get them fast is slow. He described to me the difference between leaders and the led. How the way to work the cattle is to get inside their head. Convinced that where you need them next is where they want to go. Have patience, son, don't let your temper show. The only way to get them fast is slow. If you try to rush them, they will turn on you. You'll feel the fire in their eyes. They'll try to stomp on you. One thing that's worth noting, better get it in your head. A life's a better place than being dead. If you don't push them with you, they will go. The only way to get them fast is slow.
Then he said, there's one more thing I'll tell you, 'cause it's true. Women are a lot like cattle too. Can you believe the things that some people will say? Can you believe the things that some people will repeat? But that's a true story. What? Which part? It's all true. When I kind of okay, so you tell on yourself. When I wrote the song and I kind of retold, I massaged the lyrics a little bit so it would rhyme. But I went back to Andrea and she goes, I don't like that song. But she never grew up with cattle. I was like, no, this is true. This is all the stuff that you deal with when you're trying to move cows from one pasture to one spot or get them down the road to the other place. And then it was that whole, women are a lot like cattle too. And I said, now, Andrea. It was kind of like that. And I almost saw the fire in her eyes. And I said, see, it's already starting, you know. It's like see the fire in their eyes and they want to stomp on you. I said, see, we're different. Men and women are different. It's like, you know, you don't want to hurry things. As I've learned in the morning, I don't like to wake up grumpy. So I just let her sleep as long as she wants. Thank you for the drum roll here. We have a lot of fun and we enjoy doing what we do. But I thought, you know, I'm here in Iowa. I don't have to go very far, and I'm in Nebraska, and I don't have to go very far this way. I'm in South Dakota. That I should probably sing a song that includes all these great states of ours, right? This song is called "State of Mind," and this song in the Western music genre, which is stylistically what I fall into, is Western music, more that story music rather than, you know, the car broke down and the dog got run over and my pickup's got a flat tire. I mean, that's kind of what country was. The Western music would be the stories of living life and love, family, country, cattle, faith, etc. This song did get some good radio play on some Western music stations. It's called State of Mind, and sometimes it's what we think about between our ears that determines our outcome a little bit. Not just the state of Texas, though it could be. Out in Oklahoma that you will see. In Utah or Dakota where they tend to land. Wyoming or Nebraska or desert sand. From Arkansas to Michigan you'll find. What makes you a cowboy is the state of mind. State of mind. You don't have to go that far and you will find that no matter where you are, it's more than just the place you hang your hat. My friends, it's really so much more than that. It's the state of mind. Nebraska, but not only there. Iowa and Illinois have got their share. In fact, across this land of ours, from sea to sea, from Florida to Washington, there will be. Through Canada and New Mexico you'll find. What makes you a cowboy is the state of mind. Mind. You don't have to go that far and you will find that no matter where you are, it's more than just the place you hang your hat. My friends, it's really so much more than that. It's the state of mind.
so much more than that. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind.
One of the things that I do, I travel always with a notebook in my pocket, and if there's other people that do writers, you always have to have a pen and a paper handy because inspiration can strike at the strangest times. And sometimes you'll be in a dream and you'll wake up because you got to run down the hall and say, hey, that's an idea, I need to write it down. And I've learned if you don't write it down whenever you get the idea, that somehow, some way, they vanish and they whisper and you can't remember what you were thinking about. So I keep a notebook in my pocket. My so-called smartphone has a little button. I can record a memo and I can, if I'm driving, it's like, hey, here's an idea for a song or something. And so sometimes there's things that go through your mind, and sometimes there are things that happen on the road of life that are so impactful. And this next song is called Not Every Hero. And this is, again, another true story. I want to sing it exactly as the conversation happened. And I'm in the habit of doing a couple things in my life, is whenever I see an American flag flying someplace, I am intentional. Whenever I see that flag, I make myself think about not only the freedom that our flag represents, but the cost that it took to secure and maintain that freedom. And I make myself think about that and be grateful and thank God for the freedom that I have. I also, whenever I see a cross on a necklace or a building or at a church or something, I make myself think about the significance of what the cross stands for and what it means in my own life. And but this is a true story, as it happened. So with that picture in your mind of the flag, when I see someone who's wearing a hat of the service that they served in, their brand of service, I typically will always remove my hat. I'll walk up to them, I'll stick out my hand, and I will thank them. If I'm at an airport or wherever it is, I thank them for what they did for me. And I tell them that I am grateful for what you did and what you're continuing to do. Whether they're active or retired, man or woman, doesn't matter. I do this all the time. And I know I have a couple of people in this room that are the category of person that I call a hero. I don't really think that if you play a game that's hero worthy. But if you served mankind, those are the people that to me are real heroes. And this is a true story, exactly as it happened, called Not Every Hero.
I met a man in a cafe the other afternoon. He started talking about old times and what he used to do. He told me he was a soldier, that he'd seen a lot of men die. He started telling a story. He started to cry. He told me he was a prisoner for a year or maybe more. How he'd served in the army till 1964. That was when he got angry that he was living the day. I tried my best just to listen, but through his tears he heard me say that not every hero has to die. You were one of the lucky, and I'm glad that you're alive. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. 'Cause not every hero to die. He told me that he was sorry, that the words I'd said were true. He just seldom was noticed or even thanked for things he had to do. I said, sir, I'm so grateful for the gift that you gave to me. The fact is that you were willing. Freedom isn't free. I took a last drink of coffee and I got up and I started to leave. I said goodbye to that old man, and there were tears wiped on his sleeve. I could tell he was thinking of some words he wanted to say. And thanks, he said in a whisper, for reminding me today that not every hero has to die. You were one of the lucky, and I'm glad that you're alive. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. 'Cause not every hero has to die. Wish I could do more to thank you, but I'm glad I got to try. 'Cause not every hero has to die.
Thank you for the heroes that we do have here. Andrew's going to come up on this next song again. There are two things I wanted to. Out at the table, we've got our CDs. My 10th album just was shipped to me about 2 weeks ago, and I want to sing one of the songs that the folks have really connected with on that new album. It's a country gospel album. All my music is out there. We'd love to talk with you about that. But Andrew's going to come up in just a moment. And then secondly, I know we were inside today, but I've not seen it, but I've heard there's an outdoor staging area, kind of amphitheater that's being built here for these kind of events to hold on our perfect Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska weather days. Yeah, all 6 of them. But I guess there's some great things happening, and I know there's membership opportunity here at this Lewis and Clark Betty Strong Encounter Center. There it is. I was going to say Enforcement Center, but that's up the road a little bit. But to get to be here and to entertain on this platform, and hopefully someday we can do something outside, do consider membership. It's your support dollars that let these kind of events take place and secure a historical center for other people to have opportunity to learn not only where they came from, but to understand, hey, we need to remember and preserve and keep it moving forward. And so, I'm grateful to be here. This is a song called Never Alone, and it's based loosely on a poem that we had hanging up in our house that talked about footprints in sand. And the man realized in the poem that the 2 sets of footprints, he was walking with God. And then a difficult time came, and there was only 1 set of footprints, and he asked the question, why God, why did you leave me in my difficulty? And the reality is we're never alone, no matter how we feel.
Life is a journey with faith there too. 2 sets of footprints, 1 God, 1 you. that you leave behind on the places you've been. When you look around and you see you walk with a friend, you are never alone, though you may not see. When you shift your focus and say, woe is me, said he'd not leave or forsake you till he calls you home. Trust in his promise, you are never alone. Hard times when life gets you down on the journey, your smile to a frown. You may look behind and see one footprint there, think you are alone and wonder if God really cares. But you are never alone, though you may not see. When you shift your focus and say, woe is me, said he'd not leave or forsake you till he calls you home. Trust in his promise, you are never alone. And in those times you looked and saw one print was there instead of two, that's when the Father picked you up where he carried you. You are never alone, though you may not see. When you shift your focus and say, woe is me, said he'd not leave or forsake you till he calls you home. Trust in his promise, you are never alone. Just trust in his promise, you are never alone.
I've got one last song I want to share with you. It's also a song that I've taken to closing all of my concert sets with over the recent years. And you see, something special happened today. Is we traded one thing in life that neither of us can get back. And I think it's been a good trade. We traded some time. You traded some of your time and attention, and I traded some of my life and my perspective and the stories and all of that. I think it's been a fair trade, and I'm grateful. And I do hope someday that this song is true, that someday I'll get to come back and to be with you guys again. When I'm away, it always calls my name. Though it changes, somehow stays the same. Memories made here stay in my heart. Words cannot convey the depth, so let me start by saying one thing that is true. I know what to do. I'll cherish every moment
until it's gone. But I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. The way you welcome me feels just like home, and makes me question why I choose to roam. And home, they say, is where you keep your heart, and part of me is here. So let me start by saying one thing that is true: I know what to do. I'll cherish every moment until it's gone. But I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. One thing that is true: I know what to do. I'll cherish every moment until it's gone. But I'll see you again, though I don't know just when. So promise me you'll smile and sing my song, and I'll come back to you before too long. And I'll come back to you before too long.